Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff, and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed still a thing. Can I get a wee audio check in the chat there? Emma, no, you do not need to start a petition. Where are we? Yes, here we go. Emma G, right off the bat, Sam. I think I should be a guest. As you help, you did indeed help with the project. You did a lot of video, and you're going to get credit for that. And if you want the link,
Get
I
her
will
on.
send it. Yeah, if you want a
Get
link,
her on.
if you want a link, we'll send it. Right. I'm not going to do all the hellos right there in the chat, but I will throw up your comments, as that's what I always do whenever I have a guest on. And first of all, Mac, what about you, chum? Glad to have you back.
Hello, mate. It's like I'm the old. I think I'm your toffee to censor, isn't it? I've been on a few times here.
Yes, although to be fair, there's a very good reason why you're here tonight.
Yes, yes, there is. Yes, there is.
We have been quite the busy boys, and we're going to premiere our new song, which is very it's very interesting. It's very freaky. That'll probably be happening in around about 10 minutes. So now's the time to go get your good earpods, your swapped over to your good Bluetooth speaker or whatever it is, because we believe we've got the audio issues fixed. It's not going to come out all stupid and compressed, and you want to hear this properly. So there you go.
Yeah. It is a mad one, and also there's a lot going on in it that I suggest that if I sent some iPacker, I'll say I know a few people. All right, Emma G, you all right? Dawn Browning, there's a few people in. Slim, yeah, I don't know. I'll split your bacon. Yeah, so I'll forget people. Yeah, I'll suggest when it goes live that if everyone just give it a few listens, because there's a lot of detail in this. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of trippy sort of stuff. There's a lot being covered in this, and it was inspired, I know we spoke about this before, and it was inspired by sort of Tim Ballard and the Sound of Freedom. But really, this is a subject that has been going on a lot longer, and is still relevant as hell, isn't it?
Oh, the issues around this are going back as long as society exists. If anything, they've got worse in recent years because it's become more organized. But yeah, this is not a new phenomenon. And well, Emma said, Emma was like, "What the fuck?" The first time she heard it.
Listen, Emma, I'll tell you, when I was doing the bass for it, I kind of wanted to just bleach my fingers afterwards, because it is just such a dark and nasty tune, and it had to be, it had to be that way. So that's the way we kind of sound we got there. Mouse cat, right, mate? And but what's all this about breaking the internet? What have you and JK been up to?
It's more.
Don't draw me into this, mate. I'm not going to end up in the gulag. I say it was 42, and JK, they made me say them things. I didn't mean. Yeah.
Well, we might have went on a few tangents.
Yeah.
We may have went on a few tangents and touched some red wires. Now,
Yeah.
one thing I will say is, an interesting thing's happened because YouTube have done all their crap with the ad blockers, and you can't rewatch a live stream now without being interrupted with adverts. I've been watching quite a bit of stuff on Bitchute.
Right.
And
Okay. Yeah.
whenever I went to Bitchute, and actually logged in again because I hadn't looked at it in a year, it seems that I end up over time with double the amount of views on Bitchute than I do on YouTube. YouTube tops out around about 250. Bitchute, they end up somewhere just over 500. And
Yeah.
so I'm considering at the end of this stream private on it and then putting it on the Bitchute. And it's definitely not because I'm trying to get around YouTube's terms of services running it.
Nah, don't give me all that. It's because you don't want to end up in the gulag, isn't it? That's why it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, here, hold up. Now, here's an interesting thing. See one of YouTube's terms of services. One of their terms of services, they can strike you for doing stuff to get around their terms of services, like moving stuff over to Bitchute. Which is why I'm very clear about saying if this goes over to Bitchute, it's got everything to do with checking out how the views go compared to YouTube and nothing else.
Wink, wink. Say no more. Say no
Yeah,
more.
that's exactly it. Right, before we get too involved in this, housekeeping. Sunday, 7 p.m., Ragnar Iron Spears channel. Rags and Jack are playing host to the Meats, Mrs. Meanit and Mouse Cat. That will be a good, interesting, and wacky stream. You never know what Mrs. Meanit, what's going to come out of Mrs. Meanit's mouth.
They're brilliant. They're brilliant.
Yeah.
I love Mrs. Mia as well.
I'm convinced every time Mrs. Meanit sends a super chat, there's a sleeper cell activated somewhere. It's the only thing that makes sense of her, of the language she uses.
Yeah, she's lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Oh, it's really, really lovely. John Davison, I've seen that he has a stream posted for Friday at 9 p.m. I've seen that. Or next Friday at 9 p.m. He could be on Tuesday as well. That all depends on how he's feeling on any given day. If you see he's streaming, please jump in, give him a bit of support. Next Friday he's going to be reviewing the original Ghostbusters from 1984, which broke the box office records. I wonder will he compare and contrast to the all-female Ghostbusters film, which almost broke the movie industry. And so there's that. And the other show we always like to give a shout out to is possibly lurking at Dave's Waffle House every night, 8 p.m. Nice, good, chilled out streaming chat. So there's that for you. I'm just going to have a check through the comments. Don Browning just found my Bitchute. And let's see. I'm just checking through the comments. YouTube has done. Yes. Emma's exact words after she first heard this song was, I think we need some mushrooms with this. Paul has put on a quick question. I will get to it. What do we think? We think they have moved the border to the wrong fucking place and they need to put it back around the dividing Ireland and the Northern Ireland Republic of Ireland and get it off the Irish Sea and between the EU and all of that stuff. they're getting close to causing a civil war here. There's people who are not pleased, but I want to keep away from that and concentrate on this song for this evening. Oh, yep, Dave's Waffle House is doing the working. Right, that's us. So a while ago, you said to me you were doing a project on the Sound of Freedom and asked would I put in a verse or whatnot. And I went, oh, yes, I'd love to do that. So I sent you some stuff. You and Justice Kane all did your magic. And I want to make this very clear. I've really enjoyed doing this project with you two guys. Thank you very much for having me as part of it.
No problem at all, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. So that stuff went sort of back and forth, and then I heard the first wonderful weirdness. I was like, what? Yeah. So that's pretty much where we're at. Right. I think what we'll do is we'll throw up the interview I did with Justice, and we'll sort of start playing that and then stopping it and talking about it. Does that sound like a plan?
Perfect. Yeah, go for it.
Right.
I don't know what you guys were talking about. I know you had a good old chat, and you got in the weeds with it a little bit. And I know what JK's like. He's
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, whenever I listen to it back now, I'll probably get a better idea about what all we talked about, because we did talk about a lot of stuff. There was a lot of tangents. My YouTube is being very slow. Right, hold on, live. Test. Right. Okay, sorry for the delay, people.
Yeah, so this is JK, my partner in crime, on some of the. This is the second from last track on the new album that's going to just about to be released, and I think you're going to be helping out with the last track as well. So
yeah,
it's going to be there. It's going to be cool. I can't wait to get it up.
Right. Yeah. That's because you're breaking the internet. This is exactly it, Emma. It was totally because we're attempting to break the internet. They're trying to slow us down. Right, here we go. Here's the beginning of that. And anytime you want to say something, just start talking and I will hit pause.
No probs.
Justice Kane, who is back with me again because we have got another project on the go. Justice Kane, what about you, chum?
Hey, fantastic 42. Lovely to be here again.
Yeah, and I want to say this up front. It has been an absolute pleasure working with you and Al again, and thank you very much for having me involved in this, because it has been an excellent project. I've really enjoyed it, and I think this song is quite an important work because we're hitting some deep and dark subjects.
Yeah, definitely. And your input has been phenomenal, because just started off with Al said, can you do an intro or a front bit? And you come back with something that just tipped the balance and changed the song, and we went in a different direction that I was thinking of. And I love it. And then, you made the video, which has been fantastic as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, how it gets, the response from people, and definitely to do some more work in the future, my friend.
Oh, definitely. Alan said to me before, he said would it possibly be interesting? I said to him, like, you don't even need to ask me. Just tell me what the project is. I'm down for it.
Yeah, already in the workings, mate. Already in the workings.
Yep. I think before we start talking about this, I think we actually need to play the video and let the people see it.
Yeah,
because It's wonderful weirdness. It's the best way I can describe it.
And
So
dark.
yeah, and dark. So I'm gonna bring this up. Share screen. Fuck! I was talking. I was, I was talking while I was muted. Okay, right. Here we go. Uh, Let us know in the audio if you can hear this. And here we go.
This is the ballad from Miss Ballad.
Gets darker. The deeper you go down.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And the finder of lost children.
You only need a light to guide you, and an angel to walk beside you.
I dare you to go down.
You wanna know the truth, don't you?
I find the evil and the greedy under every turn of rock, where I spit out the truth, the establishment mock. From all sides, I watch the opposition grow, trying to terminate the information flow. But the good book reminds me that I am blessed, protected and guided during every quest. In the valley of darkness, my way is clear. I carry a big stick and I show no fear. So prepare yourself for eternal damnation. In your nest of vipers I found my vocation. Are we so deaf that we cannot hear the screams of the children? Are we so blind that we cannot see? We are living in the depths of depravity. Are we so inept we let monsters roam, fueled on power and adrenaline throne? Are we so weak we cannot fight back, beholden to our masters? The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children. of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children. Lost children. The finder of lost children.
The rabbit hole. I dare you to go down.
And there you have it. I'm just going to pull up some of the comments. Bit Blair Witch. Dark.
Definitely.
Craigie. For fuck's sake.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was mixing it.
Yeah. This is hardcore. Love it. Sansom saying they're all evil demons. Toffee has a good
Evil
comment in there as well.
demons.
Yeah.
Love it. Sansom. Evil fucking demons, man.
Yeah, Toffee's first comment. Fucking quality. Thank you.
Nice one, Toffee. Nice one, Toffee.
Yeah, it seems to have went down well. Don Browning's giving us a load of cups.
Oh, fantastic. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Before we go back to JK,
Yep.
because I've seen a couple of drafts of the video. We had it going back and forth. But the one clip that really, strangely, I mean, we've all seen the Biden clip, but the one that really was like, what the fuck, was the little kid and the bird. Where did you find that? Who was she? What was the context? It was just bizarre.
The woman kissing the child. Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you know? That's Demi Moore.
Whoa. I mean, to be fair, that kid was probably going, fucking hell, is it my birthday? But it was just sick. I mean, what was it?
Oh, really?
What was going on?
That kid's a child actor. He was at his birthday dinner with his family, and Demi Moore was there. If you look up on YouTube, Demi Moore kissing young boy or actor kissing young boy, you'll find that full video.
Right. Yeah, I think I've seen enough, but that was very weird. I didn't recognise her, I have to say. I didn't know who she was.
Yep. That doesn't come up whenever I'm talking to Justice, so we're fine. Do you know where the snake room was? This will come up again, like, so I'm going to be repeating myself. See the room with the snake?
No.
It comes in on in your nest of vipers. That's the Vatican.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Those fangs directly beneath that. There's a stage where the Pope gives talks to people.
Yeah. No, okay, that all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yep. It's a top suggestion after Demi Moore kisses young actor. It's.
I wonder. I was going to say, I wonder if anybody. There's a few things to. If you watch it, I know that there's a lot of sort of walking in the dark and stuff like that. There's a few little bits of detail that if you watch it a few times, you know. If anyone's noticed the pizza box that was in the haunted house as well,
that was Al's idea.
That's right. In fact, I actually said, can you get a pizza box and lean it up against the gate?
I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, that would be would a bit comical, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and when you watch it on full screen, you'll notice that the Coke can is still got Coke coming out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. That was Emma G's idea.
That was MG's idea. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the idea because when you're spray painting the logo on there, if anybody's noticed, you've got Roman numerals 42 underneath the Justice
Yep.
Kane logo, and
Yep.
it's like this place has been marked.
Yep.
That
We've been
you
here.
know that we know that we've been here. We know that we know what's going on and stuff like that. I quite like that idea that the finder of lost children. Not that we found any yet, but we're trying to do our bit anyway, aren't we?
Do you remember whenever you were a kid watching cowboys and Indian films and you had the tracker and they'd come up on a camp and they'd go, yeah, the fire's still hot. They haven't gone wrong. I was looking for something that could recreate that, and Emma G came up with it because the Coke they have obviously just left as we arrived in.
That's it. That's right.
Oh.
And Emma G says, I was just on camera for it. You did. If you watch closely, you just see a little bit of Emma G there as 42 walks in.
No, that was me. That was me standing in the corner. That was Emma G filming.
Okay.
Right. I kicked the tin over, and Emma G came in and she filmed that. Emma G did. Obviously, Emma G did the filming while I was spray painting, and she did the filming while I was packing the bag.
Mm-hmm. Paul, I've seen a comment there, Paul Pizzagate, question mark. Yes, and it was roundly debunked some time back, with the Hillary Clinton thing involved in it, and what was her aide called, or that? Anyway, all that lot involved in Pizzagate. It was all thoroughly debunked, but that's absolute bollocks because these are the paedophile code words: a pizza is the triangle for a little girl, the hot dog being a sausage being for the little boys. These are sort of internet fucking paedophile code words.
Yeah. So. The other thing is, what happens is you have something that has a kernel of truth at the base of it, where this stuff is happening, and then whenever it starts to get exposed, they have people that add extra stuff on the end of it, which is blatantly untrue. And then on the back of it being connected with the blatantly untrue stuff that they have added onto, good case in point would be John Wedger and Bill Maloney of Pan Films, that people in here may or may not have came across, but they were making all sorts of allegations that were blatantly true on the back of the child sexual exploitation by people in Parliament, and they were brought in to they were brought in to put this stuff in the end to discredit the rest of it.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I was just reading the chat.
Yeah.
It's some sick stuff, and it's without a doubt. It's been going on. I don't know whether Podesta and all that lot and spirit cooking. I know there was a little bit of nonsense talked about at the time.
Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know, but like I say, no smoke.
There's a lot of stuff that is fucking weird that never got properly explained. Hashtags talking about Brian Harvey. It was John Wedger that stitched up Brian Harvey.
Oh, was that Brian Harvey from E17?
Yes. Brian Harvey from E17 was in a nightclub with Daniela Westbrook of the not having a nose anymore due to too much cocaine.
That could happen to all of us.
Right, yes. Well, he was in a nightclub with her, and I can't remember the name of it, but this nightclub's got all sorts of secret corridors and stuff in it. And he went through a room, and he seen he was walking past two people in the dark. There was two adults there. Then there was a boy dressed in a suit, and there was a girl in like a short skirt with stockings and suspenders. But whenever he was walking through, he went, something wrong there. And then he realized that why everything didn't look good was because it was a child. And he spoke about, he said to Danielle and the other person they were with, here, that's a child back there. That's a child back there. And she says, shut up and keep walking. And not long after that, his career got torpedoed.
Right. I hadn't heard any of that at all. That's mad. Doesn't surprise me. Where was this club? Is it somewhere in Essex somewhere?
I think it's London. Whenever we're watching some of that, I'll do a quick search and see if I can find it. It's a club that got shut down and it had a load of corridors and like secret doors and stuff in it.
Right. So 42. Sense she did give a good nose job. Oh dear. That's brilliant. Yeah, well, as always, the sense can always bring a little bit of levity to a shocking subject. But yeah, you got to in the gallows humour, man. You got to.
Yep, you have to. Right now, will I get the justice conversation back up again?
Yeah, go for it. I'll have me earpiece in and I'll have a listen while I have a quick puff.
Perfect. I get this back up. We'll also need to move that to the end of the song. Right, 1 second. Just getting this to the right bit.
I'm sure we can play it again later as well.
Oh,
it
definitely.
Needs a couple of watches. It needs 2 or 3 listens that song to get
it. Oh, don't worry. This song's getting played like every hour. We're going to have regular musical interludes. Right, just check it. It is. And there we go.
I didn't have no sound on my end, my friend.
Oh, fuck. That happened to you the last time as well?
Sort of, yeah. I sent you a text there, but yeah. But before, no, I heard something, but this time was absolutely silent.
Oh, fuck. It was definitely coming out. I don't know.
Maybe my computer again.
Right, we have had a load of oh fuck,
gremlins.
Yeah, we have had a load of gremlins. Trust me, whenever this goes out live, there will be sound.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
I just imagined it, so it's okay.
Yeah, well, you've heard it plenty of times.
Yeah, it's been going through a lot.
Yeah,
it sounds much better with the music going with it. It's like really adds to it. Video on its own, like people will be thinking, well, wow, what's going on?
Yeah,
when you hear everything.
Yeah,
and
we hear it.
And I think that works both ways, because you hear the song, you be thinking, what? So the video works with the song. It's like that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, the really interesting thing, the being 10 years into making memes, everything that's in the video, you can't have anything in a music video that makes people think, because as soon as they start thinking and trying to join dots together, they've stopped listening and they've stopped watching.
Point.
You know, so it has to be, because I wanted to get more occulty stuff in there, but I couldn't actually find stuff that was. I could find stuff that was plain and obvious, but would have been taken out of a movie. And it didn't want anything to. It didn't want to go in, for example, take something out of Eyes Wide Shut.
Because I thought of that film, and because that's like pretty good. But you're right.
Yep.
when you said that to me, and even with the Georgia, the Bohemian Grove,
Yeah,
I remember seeing a video. I don't know if it was one of Ike's shows or where it was, but
Alex
somebody got
Jones.
in. Yeah, I think Al said that to me about that, and you saw it actually happening, and them worshiping this 40-foot owl or whatever it was.
Yeah,
But yeah, I couldn't find some stuff either, so it was like I understood what you was
yeah.
going
Uh,
for.
the Alex Jones one is probably the best one for that. And whenever you watch that, you can know what it is because you've listened to half an hour of Alex telling you where he is, what it is, and these grainy figures in the distance make sense. But whenever you take that context away, fuck knows what
Yeah.
it is. You know,
Yeah, I only
and
found grainy pictures, and it was like, well, it would be pointless because you just wouldn't know what
yeah,
it is.
which again, but the other thing that I find really interesting about all of this is we have so much stuff out there that is clear and present and obvious that they've allowed to be clear and obvious. But there's this one thing that they have been so fucking careful about keeping under wraps.
Yeah, well,
You know?
quite a lot of it. But you got, like you said to me, you found that original kind of
Yeah,
something going on in the woods there. So
yeah.
you know,
That was found in the New Forest, and that was the morning after there'd been some form of a ritual.
right?
Right, you know, I wanted everything that we put in there to be genuine in the public domain that people can go and find out about and whatnot because what there is out there in public, it's freaky. Oh, did you recognize the see the bit in the Nest of Vipers and the snake room? Do you know where that is?
No, I didn't know what it was.
That's in the Vatican.
Ah, right. Yeah. Well, they got a lot to answer for, haven't
Yeah, yeah. See, beneath where those viper teeth are, that's his stage that he stands on and talks to people.
they? Right. Yeah.
It's
I mean, that's it. I mean, this is getting to the song now. It's like the further you go down, the more you understand. You realize this has been going on for a long time.
yeah,
It wasn't just the film, The Sound of Freedom. You know, that kind of put it a bit more into the public's awareness. That's why we say the Ballad for Ballad. But it's been going on for a long, long time, and it's been covered up so well that it seems, you know, unbelievable to believe that this is actually happening to children all over the world. But it's
well,
a
the
nightmare.
other. Whenever you think about the amount of children that go missing
Mm,
through the court system, through adoption system,
yeah.
through coming across borders, be it from Mexico into North America, there's loads of
War-torn
children.
areas all
Yep.
the time.
Yes, happened in Bosnia, happened in Kosovo, happened in or disaster places. The whenever the Clintons went into Haiti and children disappearing.
Yeah.
And,
Africa, you could imagine, is, you know.
yeah. Oh, and then we have this whole thing where the world is fixated on looking for Madeleine McCann.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just one little
Yeah,
child,
yeah,
and everybody's focused on, as if that's the only one child that has gone missing. You know.
yes.
And I was watching one guy. I can't remember who it was, but he wanted to find out, so he phoned up in America and he said, you know, what's the details and what's the numbers of the children America wide, and they said, well, we don't keep a registration of the children. They do of cars of all the states where the cars go missing, but the children you'd have to phone up the separate states.
Yes.
And so this person did, and it was like a massive amount when you accumulated it all together. But it's just unbelievable, you know. It's unbelievable. What can you say? Did you see the redacted thing?
Yeah, I've watched quite a few. I've watched a few of those on Redacted. You know, again, that
The border.
yeah, I didn't see the one on the border. seen a couple where they're talking about what's going on with Walmart and the NGOs in there, and they're moving children.
Yeah, just as
to,
a matter of factly, it's literally, you know,
yeah.
it's
Oh, but
they just put
hey,
them there. They employ these young kids to go and take them to the sponsors.
yeah,
You know, there's no proper details, and they just let them go, and that's it. And it's unbelievable.
and but it's put across as being a good thing. We're helping these children.
Oh yeah,
We're taking them to a better life. Now,
yeah.
the probability is that the majority of them do go to a better life,
Oh, don't
but
that.
there's a certain amount that go to a hell on earth.
Yeah, couldn't even imagine it.
Yeah, it's absolutely sickening, and
Nothing's been done about it. And even like the film, I heard that when people were going to watch it at the cinemas, like the electric would be cut or something, and or they said, "Oh, the reel is not," and so they, you know, there'd be an hour wait before it
yeah,
started, and so they were doing all they could to stop it being shown, and even to the point where they started saying it's a conspiracy theory, it's not real. It's like, oh my god, you know, it is real.
well, there's the other thing. The conspiracy has been become a really frowned upon word. Go, that's a conspiracy. Do you know something? You, me, and all Mac conspired to create this song and video. The
Yeah,
people, the builders that built your house, they conspired to build the house. All conspiracy.
yeah,
What conspiracy is a number of people joining together, putting a plan in
yeah.
place and doing something. That's but three-letter agencies have used this term conspiracy theory to poo-poo.
Undermine the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, totally undermine the truth, and not like I'm taking counter or anything, but us conspiracy theory people are winning about 57-0 by now, because everything that they're saying is conspiracy theory eventually turns out to be true.
yeah. Neil Oliver, I think he did a podcast yesterday and referring back to the JFK thing when it's suddenly that word suddenly was propelled, I suppose,
Yeah,
into society because they'd done something really bad and they were going to try and cover it up. And everybody who saw where the shots came from, and everybody else who knew that it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald, in order
uh,
to stop that truth getting out, they come up with this word, this phrase, and that nowadays you just say it and everybody goes, "Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, you silly, sad little person." You
yeah.
know how
J-
how sad that you don't understand like the rest of us understand. It's like, and it's so annoying. And it's
JF,
unbelievable.
JFK with a magic bullet that
Yeah,
went
that's a swerving bullet.
went into JFK, come out of him, hit somebody else, and went back in again.
Yeah, it went round and up
Yeah,
and down and all over the place. Yeah, did a song about that. We did. It's called "I'm a Patsy."
yeah,
That poor bloke was set up for the whole thing, and of course they had to take him out before he could speak. So that's what Jack Ruby was there for.
yeah.
And
He, uh, I've been watching. There's a channel called America's Own Told Stories. Uh, Mark Gobar uh, does it, and they have a whole load of stuff about that. And like, there's just so much going on with that case. But well, there's the other thing that whenever they're covering up how an American president was murdered,
Mhm.
and a couple of his brothers as well,
Yeah.
it- the level of power that they have and the corruption that there is in order to keep all this stuff on their wraps is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, it's massive.
yeah. And people think, yeah, if that sort of if child trafficking was going on, if the elites were doing satanic rituals and stuff, people would know.
Yeah, that's what people say to me. They'd know. There'd be a whistleblower. Well, there are whistleblowers. Most of them get killed in
Yeah,
a car accident or something, and
yeah,
they get
yeah,
silenced.
yeah, or mysteriously shoot themselves in the head 3 times.
Or hang themselves, yeah, and shoot
Yeah,
themselves with a shotgun that you can't find on the floor.
yeah, yeah. That's there's 101 ways that people that try to bring this out just disappear.
Yeah. They always set up the inquiries, don't they? And that's all these guys who are in the same thing. So no, we've gone and looked at it, and it turns out no. It's like,
No,
oh, for God's sake, it's just like Israel now going into the hospitals and going, look, see, we found a rucksack with some weapons in it. Yeah, but you ain't found that big James Bond thing underneath it, have you? The tunnel.
yeah.
It's a massive setup all the way to the bank, mate.
The Israel one is the Israel one's quite complicated because you've got two people, you've got two groups, you've both sides are lying through their teeth, and where the actual truth, I think, that's going on out there is anybody's guess.
Yeah, Al will talk to you about that one because he talks to me about it quite often. I've jumped around there, but it's just like, yeah. I mean, the trouble is, this whole world is a lie. Everything, even our history. You look back. I'm always watching things where they.
Al, have you got stuff to tell us? Or are you not at your computer? Are you typing comments from somewhere else? But your mate seems to think.
Sorry.
Have you something to tell us about JFK?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh. No. There's some some interesting sidetracks. Funnily enough, I was in Priya the Luge a couple of months after Manny McCann, disappeared or whatever happened. Right, so a family member has got it's quite wealthy, got a massive villa over the top that overlooks the marina at Lagos, which is just down about two kilometres from Priya de Luge, which we used to go to a lot. And to get there didn't have a proper road going up to this villa. It was a track, and there was a sort of like a load of old sort of ruined buildings and stuff like that. And it was weird because, and there was a lot of posters up at the time. I mean, we went back about we used to go every year basically. And at that time, I just remember looking in these outbuildings and in the scrubs and stuff like that. And it was, it's a funny one. But yeah, that slightly off the subject, because I know what a massive thing went on for that one individual, and the money and effort that went into that, and the people of that area really began, started to resent the whole thing. Where they started off quite supportive of the McCanns.
Well, the found out the reason why she went missing was their parents decided to take her on their fucking swingers holiday.
Well, I've watched. He's not a behavioural expert. He's an expert in reading people's testimonies, and there's a few sort of YouTube videos about the McCanns, and there's some very, very interesting stuff. That he pretty much just thinks that they're lying. It's his opinion. It's just no hard proof. It's very, very suspect about that whole thing.
You had two couples and one single man on that holiday, or was it three couples?
Yeah.
It was either two or three couples, whenever they started the track, whenever they had to track where they were, one husband was with one wife for a while, and one husband was with a different wife for a while, and they all sort of seemed to be going off in couples and doing things at times, but they were never with their own husband or wife. You know, it looks extremely like they were away on a swingers holiday and forgot to fucking get the children minded at home while they were doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things like that. They think that there was an accident happened because they just left them. You know, they wanted to do their thing, whatever their thing happened to be. There possibly could have been an accident. They tried to cover it up, and the fact that cadaver dogs had identified the possibility of a dead person in a car that they hired later on.
Yeah.
Which suggested if that was the case, they moved the body. It's a lot of strange shit went on with that case.
Yeah.
But what was quite ironic about it, that I was, looking for a lost child in Portugal on my hollybobs. You know, it was well, not completely active, you know, but I did. Every time there was something that I could look behind or it's in the middle of nowhere, I just because it was just fresh in my mind, you know, I would just start looking under stuff, looking in these little outbuildings and stuff like that, and in the scrubs. But yeah, getting off the subject a little bit there. But there's there are a lot of a lot of theories about what happened out there, and who knows?
It's mad. Right. Anything else you want to say, or really continue on with the interview?
I think there was, but I've forgotten now. So yeah, crack on with.
Right. Right. Anytime you want to butt in, just shout now.
We'll find something that's older than possibly can be, which to say is like, you know, that the history that we have been told is not correct. You know, so it's like
there's pretty much none of history as we are taught, and definitely not as we're taught in school. It's all very, very dubious.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, whenever you get to be my age, you know, over 55, you get to notice that the history that we were taught has now been changed.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's came along and revised it. And I'm like,
that's what Orwell was about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Winston was his job to change what the facts were.
Here's a really interesting one, where he has like the memory hole, where stuff goes in the memory hole, and they rewrite the newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of our news is now online, there's plenty of news reports that I have read 10 years ago, and then went back to find it, and holy fuck, it's different. And you get a wee note at the top of it that says printed 2012, edited 2015.
Wow.
Right, and they have went in and have just changed it. And these are bog standard news reports, you know.
Wow.
Not even on minor things. You know.
That's mad, because that's going to be the next song, by the way. But about that. But and the Justin Trudeau and in the parliament they were clapping the Nazis from Ukraine against the Russians, and everybody forgotten that they were on our side.
Yeah.
So that had changed. The history had changed in that moment when they were applauding this man who was killing Russians, but the Russians were fighting with us.
Yes. He was fighting in World War II against the Russians in Ukraine. That would make him part of what? The SS.
Yep.
Yep. You know,
Ukrainians.
And those same people literally during the trucker protest, they were saying that these people are all Nazis and they're bad.
Yeah. And it's like for people, the younger people would be just, if they watched that, they'd be probably go, oh, right. So, yes, well done. They were, because Russia is bad. And they've forgotten history and they've changed history. And that's the scary thing when the truckers and how people were, funding them. And then it's like, oh, well, you must be a terrorist because you're funding the truckers. And so your bank account has just been shut down.
Yep. No more bank account for you.
Yeah. And they're bringing it in now with the digital currency that's coming up. It's happening in Europe. And they're getting closer and closer to their goal.
Oh, and the other thing that they're going to start, the other thing that's coming, and it's coming very soon, is people having children taken off them for their political beliefs.
Yeah, because you'll be classed as a terrorist.
A terrorist, subversive, not suitable to be raising children because you'll raise them with bad views. So we will. Yep. Which also strangely has a connection to this drive to change the definition of a man, change the definition of a woman, change the definition of the family, and change the definition of parents. Because in order to appease or in order to facilitate gay marriage, right, where you have two mothers or two fathers, you can't have two mothers or two fathers. You have to have two parents or two caregivers. And whenever you get the word mother and father out of the legal system, because that is a biological fact, a child can only have one father, a child can only have one mother. That's just how it works. Whenever they get father and mother removed and change that to caregiver, anybody can be a caregiver.
So the state steps in there again for more.
Yes, it makes it so much easier. You're not depriving you're not depriving the child of a caregiver. You're not depriving the child of a mother or a father anymore. You're depriving them of a caregiver. But here, hold on, they're going to a different caregiver, so they're on exactly the same level. It's fucking sick.
Yeah. And it's like when they're giving puberty blockers at school. I mean, it's unbelievable. But they're literally telling the children, hey, you're a boy, but you don't have to be a boy. And we can do these things. And you don't have to tell your parents. I mean, that moment there, when they do that, and that's the most disgusting thing. That's again in Orwell, where the children, they're protected by the state and they start to grass up their parents, because they're not worshipping Big Brother. And it's happening right before our eyes. It's like, this whole woke thing that, a man can have a baby. It's just beyond belief that people are flustered to answer the question about that, or even to stand up and say what the truth is. And wow.
The sexualization of our children is. I can remember whenever I was a kid, it was always don't sexualize children, and now
keep it away from them.
Yep. Deal with that whenever they're older. But now it's pushed to sexualize the children.
Yeah. I think a long time ago when a prostitute, right? So when you were a young kid, you probably didn't really know what the word prostitute was or what it meant. Then they changed it to a sex worker. Oh, well, there it is. It's graphically explained, isn't it? And that change, it's just been a slow, as Ike says, it's a step in a totalitarian tiptoe of all these things done slowly, and it just is accepted. And the poor kids, Jesus, what they did to them during COVID, being off school, putting a mask on so you can't see the facial expression is the first thing you need to see facial expressions.
The other thing about that is for a year and a half, they told kids, you don't need to go to school, you can do all this from home.
Yeah.
Right. And now they're surprised that there's a percentage of the children don't want to go back to school.
No, because they're scared.
No, it's not even that they're scared. They've took a lid off and went, yeah, I can actually do this from house. Why should
but they're not. Yeah, but they're not doing anything from that because I'm scared. Like, because when you're with other children, there's a big barrier to face, isn't it? You go remember back when we was kids at school, and you need to do that. You need to. Oh, there's that bully at school, but you need to go there and you need to stand up and you need to, have that interaction. But if you're at home, safe in your little bedroom on your computer, and that's not living as a human being, which is all part of their plan. It's obvious. They're so disrupted now.
Yeah, they just will not leave anything alone, and that's the other reason why I put the kids in the gay pride thing in, because these events are put forward as a family-friendly event.
Yeah. And the mothers and fathers that do this, I mean, Jesus, what is going in their minds? To
42.
think that this is, that's fine. Oh, yeah. Rainbow colors.
Yeah, but
Hello, mate. Yeah, mate. The point you're just bringing up now, or JK's bringing up now, about the sexualization of children. I think we're starting to see this now. It's now become an orientation, and the leftists have been doing this. We fucking knew they were going to do this. We predicted. I heard so many people predicting this, that it was going to be an orientation, and this is like JK says, this tiptoe of changing the terminology, changing people's thinking about it by just changing the fucking language. And it's now, and they want it acceptable. They want it. It's going to be, how long until the fucking paedophile is going to be put on the latest flag of the LGBT flag, LGBTP plus. It's fucking shocking and so simple to see, and it's sickening. It really is sickening, mate.
have you heard of Harriet Hammond?
Yes.
Labour politician.
Yeah.
Have you heard about her?
Remember her?
Right. Have you heard about her connection to a group called PIE, PIE, in the late 70s, early 80s?
I think I might have heard something about this recently. Wasn't it her husband that was using something? He was addicted to porn or something like that, wasn't it?
No, she was a spokesperson for a group called PIE, which is the Paedophile Information Exchange.
That's it. That's fucking outrageous,
man. And the information they were exchanging was the address, the names of children that were in the care system that would be exploitable.
Yeah, like Woodlander there. Yeah, maps.
Yep. We've moved we're changing the term, the word from paedophile to map, a minor attracted person. And then we have this other weird one, minor attracted person, non-offending, which they're trying to say, no, I'm fine to say I'm attracted to minors, but I'm not actually touching any of them, so I'm
no,
fine.
just wanking off to fucking child porn on the internet.
Yeah. See, all those maps belong on a wall. That's just if you've got a map you want to put it on the wall. I've got two on my wall. I've got a map of Upper Loch Earn and a map of Lower Loch Earn on my wall, and I think that's the best place for a map. But yeah, it is absolutely fucking nuts. But the Howard Hammond and another female Labour MP whose name is escaping me at the minute. They were spokespeople for Paedophile Information Exchange, which then became the lobby group Liberty, which is still knocking about today. It's fucking sick, man.
Like the Woodlander fetch the rope.
Yeah. Paul's helping him out. He's got a tree.
Paul's got a tree. And someone mentioned wood chippers earlier on as well. So yeah. We know what we got to do. Man, fucking hell.
Oh, yeah. Right. Anything else you want to say?
No, they're just carry on with JK. They're just fucking making blood boil there.
Yeah, and whenever you have anything, just shout and I'll do the same thing. I'll get it stopped and we'll get you in.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. You got to think that they got the payoff. Nobody called them homophobic. You know, while their kids slowly changing from a boy to a girl.
But it shouldn't happen. It's just there's no way it should happen. It's just like I say, getting back to where they're doing it without parents' consent. It's just unbelievable. I mean, and that's scary. What's next without parents' consent? Like I say, when you're modern, you're making it your normalization. That's it of this that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing. There's this big push to normalize all sorts of things. See if something needs normalized. That's because it's not fucking normal. And maybe you want to stop doing that.
Yeah. And that's bring us back to the song again. It's like they're trying to normalize the sexualization of the children. And
yes,
make it just it's fine that we do that. And that's a push from the pedophiles. It's for everybody else to shut up and not say anything and to let it happen.
Yeah, it's a violation of the innocence.
Yeah.
You know, it's the song it brings all of this together and packages it nicely. And well, nicely is not the correct word. It packages it properly, and it's something that maybe fire off some food for thought and send some other people down that rabbit hole. Because,
definitely.
It's very deep. It's very dark, and once you see this stuff, you cannot go back to the way you were.
Yeah, definitely. Once you've seen it, you cannot not see it. It's there, and it's like, but people do. They just refuse to accept it. Just like with everything else we've talked about, they just don't want to know, and because it's too difficult to accept. And that's the thing. You know, are you strong enough? Are you brave enough? You know.
Well, once you accept it, you have to do something about it, and that doesn't mean you need to go out and storm buildings or anything. You know, it could be as simple as telling your kids, it's fine for you to remain a boy. It's fine for you to remain a girl. It could be as simple as whenever somebody describes a pregnant man, you go, no, that's not a man. You know.
Well, don't let it happen. I mean, it's like in Orwell, I never used to understand that 2 + 2 is 5, but now I get it because they changed everything that was absolutely, made sense. 2 + 2 is 4. A man cannot have a baby. Now they've changed it. So 2 + 2 is 5. A man can have a baby. Well, no, 2 + 2 cannot be 5. And a man cannot have a baby. And that's the whole bit of that. You know, we cannot allow it to be truthful because it's not truthful. But everybody's going, yeah.
In the program, in the actual genuine running program about removing racism from mathematics, they actually say that 2 + 2 can be 5. Right? They actually used it. I swear to fuck, and I was like, this can't be.
Wow.
This cannot be by accident. They must know that reference. You know, and the reason that they said that is because, well, we live in a racist society where 2 is permanently defined and 2 might not actually be what you think it is.
Wow.
Right. And mathematics is supposed to be the unifying language of the world.
Well, it's set,
because
isn't it? It's supposed to be set in stone. I mean, you can't mess about with it.
It doesn't matter if you're doing it in Greek, Latin, English, German, Swahili. You still have the thing that means two, and you add two and two, that comes to four. That's
two apples.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're actually changing that.
Wow. Well, I haven't come across that yet. And it's a surprise to me, 42, that it happened so quickly. You know, I thought there were slowly creeping it in, but it's, you know, from the pandemic, it's just like everything's like being bang, 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 just next thing, like they're in a hurry.
Well, the racist math thing and the 2 + 2 being 5, that is pre-pandemic. I started seeing that probably round about 2018, 2019.
Yeah, but all in that, everything's been happening in the last few years. You know, it's, you know, before that.
COVID gave them emergency powers.
Yeah.
And they used those emergency powers to do a lot of stuff that had fuck all to do with COVID.
Yeah, it's the fear. That was the big thing of fear. And suddenly, oh, God, blimey.
No,
you know.
Well, once you declare an emergency, you can do things that you could not normally do.
State of emergency. That's the little trick that they've got.
Yeah. Like the amount of there's millions of miles of cycle track went right across Europe as measures to combat COVID.
Well, that's getting ready for them taking all the cars away anyway.
Right, yeah, but I mean, it's clearly got fuck all to do with COVID. They wanted those cycle paths and they used COVID as the excuse. There's roads in Belfast city centre that got closed off to prevent the spread of COVID. And I'm thinking, I don't know how that road closing has got anything to do with this. That's a road you wanted closed and you decided to close it.
Yeah. No, the whole thing of I studied health psychology and nursing, and when they said go in the house and shut the door, it's like, well, vitamin D is your main thing that you get from the sun, and whenever you're ill with flu-like symptoms, it's best to get that. So as soon as they were telling everybody to get in, lock the doors, be very afraid, be scared, it's like, nah, you know, and whole mask wearing thing. Just pure bullshit, man.
Oh, I still see people wear masks.
That's whatever they.
Right, yeah, but like walking up the street totally on their own.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you actually doing?
But it's where you get your information from, 42. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're just watching the mainstream media, then you're going to be scared every day. You're going to be really worried. You're going to be obeying all their laws. But if you search about, read different books, you know, get different arguments from different people and start to make your own mind up, you'll see that that's not the truth, but it's not happening. They're programmed.
All you need is a very, very small amount of common sense.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to know how you know if your mask is preventing you getting germs, whether or not it's effective? Put your mask on, go shovel shit for 5 minutes. If you can smell the shit, your mask doesn't do it.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. Like whenever you look at the personal protective equipment that you use for spraying paint, working with chemicals, all that sort of stuff, and then compare it to what they were asking you to wear for the most deadly pandemic known to man, it doesn't make sense.
No, I was going to ask you that when you said about the thing. I was going to say, what did you use? Because most of the people had it beneath their nose anyway, which is quite funny.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of people that were wearing masks were wearing them incorrectly.
Yeah.
And
it was just a visual thing. That it was the fear factor, and they needed a visual fear factor, because if people wasn't wearing masks, then it wouldn't look like there was something going on. So they had to put the mask on, and you had to keep this distance. And there's all these signs everywhere. It was to make it look like there was a problem, when in fact there wasn't.
As we were talking before about the changing and the bastardization of language, see on all the shops, none of the signs said you had to wear a mask, because a mask has a proper definition. It said you had to wear a face covering. Right, which can be anything. It doesn't need to have a function.
Yeah, words are. Yeah, you got to watch out for them.
Yeah, it's. I've got.
Can I just jump in there quick?
Pernickety.
Right. Over there. Yeah, you're bang on right about the face coverings, and what was very, very early on, we had a couple of packets of masks, and it said on the masks, and I think that they later on took this off. It said these little blue masks, the little blue nappies, face nappies. It said on the packet that these do not protect against airborne viruses. It stated on the fucking packet that it doesn't protect against viruses. And the whole thing was a massive virtue signal. It was a control. It was, the whole thing was a fucking scam, a complete scam.
A lot of it was to enable people to show that they were taking part. It was literally like putting gang markings on the back of your jacket.
Yeah, it was without doubt. It was a way of saying I comply. It was wearing a badge, a virtue badge of compliance, and it was a nonsense. We know that they're about 7% effective against any coup viruses or anything like that. Anything that prevents you from breathing something in it's going to have some small value. Like wearing a scarf around your face, like you say, face covering, and that's exactly what it said in the shops. You must wear a face covering. Could be anything. People just went down the blue nappy route, and how much money was made on those blue face nappies? It's outrageous.
Really interesting thing. See if you're, and bit of health and safety information here. See if your job requires you to wear a mask, be that for rubbing something down or whatever. This goes from air-fed or cartridge masks down to just the small type masks that we're wearing for COVID. You're entitled to 10 minutes every hour in the fresh air to prevent toxic shock.
Right. That's correct. Yeah. But you're expected to wear, people that are working in shops or in business were expected to wear these things all the time.
Yeah.
Breathing in your own bacteria that you'd breathed in and breathed out, that goes into this mask, which is on your face, and and it concentrates. You're re-breathing it in. It was, those little surgical blue masks were for surgeons and people in the medical world. So they would, they weren't, if they're leaning over someone doing something, weren't droplets from their nose or mouth going into an open wound or something like that. They're effective at that. That was all they were for. The whole thing was scandalous. And the thing of seeing people driving in cars on their own with a mask on, just every time I saw that, a bit of me, I laughed at them, but a bit of me also died, because that was humanity just going down the pan. When every time I saw that, you had to laugh, but I felt sad inside at the same time.
I wanted to be beside them at the lights and wind down the window and see if I could sell them a seatbelt for their sofa. So whenever you're sitting in your sofa, you might need a seatbelt on you in case you fall off your sofa. You know,
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I was just looking at Woodland's comment there. That see you later, mate. Woodland's doing, more than most people. Give an alternative opportunity. I've sort of joined the Woodlander initiative myself. It's been great having you here, mate, and we'll see you soon, brother.
Well, we've got a bit of a natural break. Toffee and who was the other person? I think it was October. I'm not 100% sure. Having problems with the chat, lads. It's not. It's nobody on the channel. It's not the mods. We're obviously hitting some third rail topics in the subject matter, and YouTube's fucking with us. I'm sorry about it, lads, but just know it's not us, right? It's Big Brother in the tubes.
Yeah, I can see Toffee's comments.
Yeah.
Fancy a little musical interlude again?
Yep. Yes.
Good
call. Yes. And hold on. I'm going to drop us out of this. Right. And stop that screen.
That's it. Just to get us back on track.
Yep. Here we go.
This is the ballad from Miss Ballad.
Gets darker. The deeper you go down.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And the finder of lost children.
You will need a light to guide you, and an angel to walk beside you.
A day you go down.
You want to know the truth, don't you?
I find the evil and the greedy under every turned rock, where I spit out the truth, the establishment mock. From all sides I watch the opposition grow, trying to terminate the information flow. But the good book reminds me that I am blessed, protected and guided during every quest. In the valley of darkness, my way is clear. I carry a big stick and I show no fear. So prepare yourself for eternal damnation. In your nest of vipers I found my vocation. Are we so deaf that we cannot hear the screams of the children? Are we so blind that we cannot see? We are living in the depths of depravity. Are we so inept we let monsters roam, fueled on power and adrenochrome? Are we so weak we cannot fight back, beholden to our masters? The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children. is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children. Lost children. Of lost children.
Lost children. The rabbit hole. The rabbit hole. I dare you to go down.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, still enjoying watching that. I've only seen it about 15 times.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
We're going to have
It's
to
great
trace this Anglo-Saxon. I'm not particularly a religious person, but the Bible has some cracking quotes. Let us unpeel this. Whenever
it certainly does.
Yeah. Well, whenever I start, Al sent me the message, told me what the story was. Says, can you give some of this? And I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that Bible verse out of Pulp Fiction, and looked it up online. Pulp Fiction, Bible quote: "Path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of greedy and the turning of evil men. But blessed is he who through charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children." And then whenever I went to make the video, I got a Bible out because my idea was I'll film the Bible with a bit of paper under it, blow it up nice and large, and show the handwriting down. And that's where the problem began, because that ain't in the Bible. Pulp Fiction made that shit up.
It was funny because JK he's quite religious. He has been for a long time, and he's going. That's not. Was it Ezekiel?
Yep.
I can't remember what the number was.
Ezekiel 7.
No, yeah.
Ezekiel 19.
Right. He's going. That's not it. That's not us. I said, don't worry about it. It's just like. Thing was, it's everybody recognises it from Pulp Fiction, so it culturally has a meaning. But he says it's not in the Bible. It's not. Don't worry about that. You know, it's
the
a minor detail.
The bit that is in the Bible is a bit that comes straight after that we didn't use. I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger, and you will know that I am the Lord, because when I lay my vengeance upon you, that bit's in the Bible, but the bit before it's not.
No, but the really what the point is it's culturally iconic piece, and it works so well within that. And I'm glad that you did it, and whether it was genuine to the Bible or not, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're big Hoonerberger. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's they've got they've got the metric system over there, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it's funny because that's one of my favourite films, and I had one of those bad motherfucker wallets that I'm sure that they were knocking those up 10 minutes after that film come out.
And that's it. That's my bad motherfucker.
yeah, that's it. Yeah. I had to get. Well, I think my missus got it from me, but yeah. Anyway, getting off track a little bit, but it's great lyrics, and it was it fits so well, and there you go. What can I say?
It does. It's fucking epic. The version of the arrangement of it that we ended up with is definitely the best one. You know, you've done a fucking amazing job there.
No, I thank you. like everything with these, it goes through a few bits of back and forth until you realise to the point that if you change it anymore, you're just buggering around, and
Yeah.
you could go to any mix. And they say like some of the top producers in the world, and I'm certainly not, but I'm talking about some of the top music producers in the world, always say that a mix is never finished. No mix is ever finished. They just decide they're going to stop tweaking it, and that
Yes.
is your final mix. And everybody says that. And believe me, when you start going down this rabbit hole of music production, it is there is no end. You have to decide when it's the end. And I've kind of learned to do that over the years. But yeah,
Part
sure,
part of part of
tweaking.
part of the skills knowing when to stop.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like does it sound as pretty much as good as it can be? Is it going over the right message? I could go into a lot of the technical nonsense of does it need a little bit more 10k air on the top? Could we do a little bit more 60 hertz on the low end and stuff like that when you're doing like a master of it? But you mix it, you take it out in the car, and if it just sounds right and good, then that's you've done your job. You can always tweak it. But one of the funny things about that, there's a lot of stuff that JK's input vocally on that. There's a lot of heavy delay on his vocals, and usually I say when JK sends me his vocal parts, says send me them dry. I'll put all the effects and stuff on them, any reverbs, delays, any effects that I want to put on them. I'll do it. But he said, "Oh, I want this really to be quite trippy." So he sent those parts with those sort of like lots of delay on them, and if you listen to it, it's kind of you have to listen very closely to hear what he's saying. But that's what he wanted it. He was putting out a lot of information. He was talking about a lot of things. He's talking about Walmart and all kind of stuff that you don't notice on first listen. And that's kind of the way he wanted it, and that's was fair enough. He was a sort of creative source behind it. And if anyone doesn't really know what Justice Kane, obviously that's the artist Justice Kane, and I'm kind of like his producer. So usually I'll do most of the music, I'll do most of the guitars and doing all the mixing and the programming. But he is the main sort of creative source. And so if he has that sort of vision of that's what he wants, then I'll go along with it. I mean, we do fight like cat and dog about other things, where sometimes we'd be on the phone with each other just screaming at each other. I remember doing the first album, we had, lots of disagreements about stuff, but we always come around to it in the end, and I'll send him a mix and he just go, yeah, that's fucking brilliant. So, well, I'm happy with it, you're happy with it. That's it. That's the end, and you kind of have to put a full stop on it there.
Yeah, because otherwise you would never get anything done. There's a lot of there's a guy I watch quite a bit of called Aaron Carey. And one of his favorite lines is "Perfect is the enemy of good." If you keep on going until you can keep doing stuff until you think you've got it perfect, but then you never actually produce anything.
And that's exactly correct. That's why so many albums don't get made. They stay on people's hard drives. You have to learn to say when enough is enough. And that was one of my things obviously I sort of produce and mix for a lot of other people as well, but the Justice Kane thing is sort of it's a project close to my heart because it's a creative thing. Not I haven't just been sent a load of tracks for me to mix or sent something, can you put some bass on this? And it's been sort of very much a creative thing that's for both of us. And I really would recommend anyone going to the Justice Kane YouTube channel and listen to most of this. I think most of the album, there's some kind of piss poor video that's up there. But go to Spotify, go to Justice Kane, Dystopia Myopia. The whole album's on there, and it's just some great tracks, covering some great stuff. Like I know you've played the Orwell track before, Orwell Ends Well. You played a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's pretty based. Some of it is, Dystopia Myopia, for instance. That track itself is just, it just sort of talks about someone's red pilling awareness that not everything is as it seems, and coming to terms with it. But yeah, JK had seen, he'd had a couple of UFO. Well, he'd had a UFO encounter, and he had some those sort of globes, Golden Globe things, not the awards, but those.
Yep.
He had witnessed them, and he had a UFO encounter in the back garden of a friend's house, where a UFO just came overhead, a big white triangle. And he wrote a brilliant song, and I know you've played that Big White Triangle song before on your channel. It's a great track, and but it's all good. So that's sort of my angle from it. Is that my sort of creative angle has been really from putting it all together, making his ideas, and turning them into something, and been a lot of fun. Or Orbs, yes, correct. When I say Golden Globes. Golden Globe.
You said Golden Globes, Orbs.
Yeah, and I started thinking of Ricky Gervais, and I started going completely off the topic. Anyway, if you want to get back to your JK, go for it, mate.
I'll get that back up now. That one. Let's see. About language over this last 10 years, and I tend to notice every time they're using a word that's not factually correct, because it goes to Orwell as well. If you change the language, you change the thought.
Yeah.
Because we think in words, and if the words no longer mean what they used to mean, then you've changed the thoughts.
Yeah, and it's very easy when Blair said, "I believe that Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction." He believes. See, to say he believes, well, he could believe in fairies.
Yes.
So if he just said, "I have definite fact and proof," so whenever they say "I believe," it's like, well, you forget that one then.
Oh, the other thing with politicians is whenever they say, it's a quote that they do all the time, they go, "I want to be very clear on that." You know that whatever's coming after that is a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
It's like they're prepping you for, this is my this is the lie that I have worked out, and it's going to sound good. And and everything after that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was what was the science? Follow the science, and the experts have said, all right, the experts that are getting paid, copious amounts of money.
Which also brings you to global warming, and they say that the science is settled. I'm sorry, if the science is settled, it's no longer science.
Yeah. No, well, science cannot be settled. That was the thing. I told you before, I did a science degree, and you
hear that noise there? That was Al Mack phoning Justice during the interview. Just let us know that.
You always have to be debating. You're debating constantly. Somebody comes up with this experiment, and somebody else will copy that experiment and come up with a different thing. So there's a constant, to and fro.
Yes.
In
have you heard about the replication problem? That a whole bunch of see all the social studies. stuff, all the social sciences.
Yeah.
They have all the experiments that they use to come to their conclusions. None of them can be replicated. Every time they do them, they get a different result.
Yeah. I did, as I told you, psychology. I did my dissertation in ESP, so it's parapsychology, and the results are amazing. But in fairness, I didn't do it in a lab, in a cold lab. I did it in people's houses, but I was made sure that everything was above board and everything else like that. But could somebody else copy that and do that again? I doubt it, unless I may have had something that added to that. So it's like you can't replicate it. Not everybody can, but it did happen, and it was a significant result.
The all of the basis for all the transgender stuff comes off at Johns Hopkins Hospital, who currently are just being in the process of being sued because they caused a woman to commit suicide because they took her child off her with a faulty diagnosis. It was them that come up with this blank slate, and a child can be a boy or a girl, and you can just remove body parts and whatnot.
Jesus.
Yep. That started with a botched circumcision. There was a circumcision where the doctor took off half the penis, and the doctors in Johns Hopkins, they said, that's really easy. Just take off the rest of it, take away everything else, call them call him a girl. And actually, it's quite handy because that child has a twin brother, and then there's a control group, and they carried that study through, and on the basis of that, they said, yeah, it's a blank slate, you can just do that. However, they stopped following the study whenever the child became 18 and had to be told and decided that he wanted to go back to being a boy.
Yeah.
And both those boys ended up killing themselves, and
I've seen so many things about that. And you can't, if a child at 7 years old says, I want to be Batman, I want to be an airplane. Well, and you say, well, yeah, okay, you got that. And actually, I've got first-hand experience of it, in a sense of my cousin was allowed to he had like a doll's house, and he was encouraged to be this way. And unfortunately, he's dead now. He died. He's only 34 years old. I'm not quite sure what it was, but he was messed up in his life, and he didn't get the right grounding. And they're just telling them that something that is impossible is possible, which is a lie. You cannot change. You are what you were born, and that's the way it is.
I remember being 7, 8, 9, and around that, and getting a sheet and tying it around my neck and having it like a cape and being Superman, and jumping from the chair to the bed. Right, and flying. And that was fine, and I was allowed to do that. Was not allowed to jump out of the upstairs window and try to fly low.
No, don't get the sheets and try and fly down like a commando paratrooper.
Yeah,
because it won't work.
No, it doesn't work. And there was a healthy thing of you're allowed to play, you're allowed to explore, but no, at this point this becomes dangerous, and you don't do that, and you don't do shit that's not true. We have lost this with all that gender stuff. We have lost it.
Yeah, I think it's because I think children are all different types, and there's vulnerable ones and who may not fit in, like I say, with the alpha male kind of thing as you're growing up, and they may think that the easier way out is not to be that way. And if an adult comes to them in a white coat and says, well, actually, yes, we could make you a girl, and then your life would be much more easier. And as a child, you might think, oh, bloody hell, I won't have to do rugby. Well, that might be good. And those boys wouldn't beat me up every day. And of course, this is absolutely mental. This cannot happen. And how should it be allowed to happen? Oh,
the easiest way to solve all of that is just go. If you've got a child that, particularly under 10, you got a boy that says that they're a girl, or a girl that says they're a boy. It's actually really easy. You just go, yeah, do you know what? You can figure that out whenever you're 18 and
Yeah.
carry on, because within 3 weeks they'll have gone from wanting
Exactly.
to be, they'll want to be Superman, Spider-Man, or something else or whatever. Just tell them, yeah, no, you're too young for that. You know,
Of course, and they'll get some friends, and then they'll get a little gang together, and then they'll be, protected, and that will change. But as soon as they start them down the road of puberty blockers and all these other things, they're caught in the system now.
Well,
it's all big pharma anyway.
Well, the reason why they need to get them on the puberty blockers and stop puberty is puberty's what solves all the problems.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, they go through puberty. Their bodies change, and all of a sudden, the boy that thought he was a girl goes, no, actually, I don't think I'm a girl. Actually, I like girls. And the girl that thinks she's a boy goes, yeah, I sort of like boys. It's
and like the 1%, because that's abnormal psychology. There will be ones that won't, and they will be lesbians, and they will be gay, and that's fine. And they are in society, but they're minute. But they're trying to twist it around now that it's the majority, but it's not. And that's fine. You can be that, but not everybody who has that inkling of thinking, maybe I should be this way or should be that. And it's like I said, it's the adults pushing that idea into the head that actually, you know what, you could change if you want to. Really? Can I? I can be Superman? Yes, if you want to. Which is all bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. It is mad.
So we've covered a lot there, mate.
We have indeed. We're coming up on.
Al's been ringing me on the phone. Is it my turn? Is it Saturday yet?
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing. Whenever we were on with Al before, you thought you were like, yeah, I want to say this, but no, I'll say it. But now you've had your chance to get in first.
Indeed. I think, me and you have got on quite well there. I think we're reading from the same hymn book. And like I said, I'm looking forward to doing this next one, which I think is going to be about Orwell, and it's going to be about what's happening now, and literally how we can compare the lot. But with our thing now, what we've just done, the Ballad to Ballad, the Finder of Lost Children, it's all about going darker, deeper, down that rabbit hole that we just don't want to face, about the child trafficking in this world, which is a massive, massive industry.
Oh,
and
it is.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed doing this. I've enjoyed doing the filming. Emma G, my partner, has helped me with all that filming because.
Yeah, I wondered who helped you there, because that's good.
The line, you need an angel to walk beside you, and she really was
wicked.
Yeah, interesting one. Whenever we were in the old abandoned house, we were doing filming, and then she goes, "There's a mouse," and there was a mouse had run across the thing, but she wasn't worried about the mouse. She was going because she wanted to get it on video,
right?
Because it would have been good for the video,
or a rat.
Yeah, we have really enjoyed it, and it's been a pleasure to do.
We did a great job, mate. Great job.
Oh, thank you. From the first time I heard the first version of the song, that was wicked, absolutely amazing, but very strange and different. I was like, yeah, this needs to be dark. This needs to be filmed in the dark and black and white. And
it gives the impression that you're going down this rabbit hole. You're going into a tunnel, and you're going deeper down it.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, and I'm really glad it came across.
Yeah, well, it did. Like I say, you had limited, stuff to help you do that.
Yeah.
But what you did, even just you're walking down the pathway, but it looks like you're going down a rabbit hole. If you just tune your mind out just a touch, and it's there. So you've done a great job on a limited amount.
It's amazing what you can do with a small amount of resource and a load of will.
Definitely done a great job, mate.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And the song is fucking epic. I absolutely love it.
And just for that one, because usually songs they take a long time to do, but this one was almost like I had the idea in my head, And then I just like took a couple of beers one day and I said, right, I'm going to do it. And literally done it in a couple of hours and it was there. And like I talked to Al, do we need anything more? Do we need some guitar? And it's like, no, it doesn't need anything more. With your voice, commentary going through it, and you've got all the deep bass going on as well. So you have it's all there. It doesn't need anything else. And then you've got the visuals as well. So
Yeah,
it's a magic mix, mate.
I really enjoyed it. And with that, I think we're up on 50 minutes this night. So, any last thoughts you want to say before we?
Well, no. Looking forward to what Al will say. I think you're going live with him on Saturday, are you?
Yep. Yes, live
Yeah,
with Al on Saturday night.
Yeah, and so he's my right hand man on that one.
Mhm.
It's been great talking to you, 42.
Brilliant. And obviously, I would love to get you and Al on live on Saturday night sometime. I know that's very, very difficult because these are both gigging musicians, and my show goes out late night on a Saturday. But you're obviously always very welcome back. And if we can't do it like that, we'll have another conversation like this and then upload it.
Yeah, we'll do what we can, and
Yep.
let's see for that next song. Maybe we'll make that happen.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you so much, mate.
And thank you. I'm going to end this now. Here we go.
Well, great stuff. Great stuff. I was so tempted to interrupt when JK was talking about me talking. I just thought I'll just interrupt there just for the hell of it. Yeah, he's a good lad. And I was talking to him about when we do the next one. He thinks he's getting loads of work up there because he sort of moved up Bolton, mate. So he's doing all the clubs, Manchester and Liverpool. So he's super busy, and but he was talking about, you know, if we need to come on again and do it live, and for the next song, that he would take a Saturday night off and take a Friday or whatever instead. But funnily enough, for me, I got to tell you something that happened to me the other day. It's just fucking mad. The reason that I've been around for a few Saturdays, we've had a couple of. It's quite grim, really. We've had quite a few venues that just not able to pay the fee for one of my main sort of gigging bands, like the funk soul band, like a 6-piece band, and they're not able to afford us. And so tonight I should have been up in Auchenbury, and that got cancelled, and all the other sort of gigs we had in the year for that venue got cancelled as well. They just can't afford it. And the weird thing happened to me the other day. And also I kicked into touch one of the other regular gigging bands that I was in. The guitarist who did a wicked solo. So when the album comes out, the last track, Harmony, Melody and Rhyme, will have a guitar solo on it that's not on the video, but on the album version there will be some guitar on it from a very, very talented guitarist.
Oh, that guitar solo makes the whole fucking song. I swear to fuck, it's a different song with that, and it's a much better song.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I don't know better, but it's different, and it gives it just that sort of element of drama and rock and roll that it needed. But it was fine about it. But I mean, the lad he's 30 years old, a very super talented musician, songwriter. He's got 5 solo albums, you know, that he's made in his own right. And I was playing regularly with him in a little trio, sort of power rock trio. And we were doing, you know, anything from AC/DC to Red Hot Chili Peppers to Bowie, covers, you know, and playing in pubs around the sort of Cambridgeshire area and Peterborough. But he's had his issues, and he had a fucking breakdown. And on stage, and his old man was there as well, and he just started losing it. He broke a string on one guitar, and he picked up his spare guitar and started using that, but it was the wrong kind of guitar, and it was howling when there's a lot of gain. So when using that sort of high gain rock sound, it didn't really cut it. It was the wrong guitar for it. And he started getting angry with the guitar, and it was like picking it up. It was while we were playing on stage. It was picking it up, looking at it, and getting really angry and frustrated with it. And and he started, and it's going to be C in the chat for Al Mac. He was going over the mic. He was going, "Cunts, you cunts!" It was outrageous. It was just ridiculous. Then he took his guitar off and he threw it on the dance floor. Then he went down and picked it up, and he hadn't done enough damage to it, and he threw it again on the dance floor. And
was there people on the dance floor?
Well, they got out of the way quick. They got out of the way quick. It was a great little venue, a real sort of bohemian, real proper live music place. And I just thought, whoa, I haven't had to put up with this shit. You know, it was when I was a kid, starting out, and I just said, right, that's it. He had a complete breakdown. Yeah, that's it, Ludwig. Yeah, not too professional at all. He had a complete breakdown. And I just packed my gear up. Thought I ain't nothing to do with this. So that was another sort of like regular gig that I've been doing. Yes. Cheers for the C in the chat, 42. Yeah, he's going, cunts. I don't know who he was calling cunts, but there you go. And yeah, it was mad. So I just packed my gear up and went. Didn't even wait for the money or anything like that. And yeah, see you later, John. Nice one, mate. I will catch you on your stream soon. And yeah, so I've told him that I'm not going to put up with that kind of bollocks. So yeah, I'll have to ramp up on the sort of buying and selling stuff like that. So yeah, it's getting a little bit grim. You know, gig wise, it's just it's gone down the pan. But JK's doing all right. He's doing up there. The clubs are still strong up there with the live music, so he's all good.
So, are you looking to get into another regular gig in band?
Yeah, I still am. I'm still involved in about 5 different bands. I've accidentally joined a Marillion tribute band. Just it's funny because when I was a lot younger, I would say no to a lot of things. I'd be asked to get involved with this, get involved with that, and quite often I'd just say no. And people are, do you want to? I need a deputy. Do you want to come do this gig? And quite a lot of time I just say no, and then I sort of realised that a lot of the people that were being successful would just always say yes. That was their thing. If you read any articles about successful musicians, they just say yes. You know, that'd be the response. They didn't worry about doing it after. So I kind of that'd be my ethos for years. Just say yes, and so I find it hard to turn things down. But anyway, not that there's any problem with that. With the Marillion thing, and it was some of the people that I knew were in it. So that'll be gigging next year. My soul funk band that'll be busy gigging. But yeah, it's getting tough out there. I mean, I'm all right. I'm not claiming poverty or anything like that. I've been very, very lucky that the music industry has been very good to me, and I've got a bit of money saved away. There's no problem there. But the gigs are getting harder to come by. So anyone who's still doing it, man, full respect.
It's strange that because we're coming up towards Christmas, and you would think that's a time whenever things would pick up because there's a lot more nights out.
Man, that's how it used to be. I mean, you would do all the venues that you'd do them at a reasonable rate, because you knew that at Christmas, New Year's time, you were going to be getting double, triple bubble for those. We actually lost in the Soul Funk band. We actually lost our New Year's Eve gig. It looks like we're getting an alternative one, and it's going to be cool. But we lost it just because the venue just couldn't afford to pay it. The people ain't coming in. Younger people aren't coming to the place. The older punters that go to these sort of social clubs or sports clubs and that kind of thing, they're dying off. And that's the fucking reality of it.
1 second. John Davison, did you get to hear the new song? I can see you're getting ready to go to bed. I'm glad to see you're getting back. I'm glad to see you're on the mend. But I'm not sure when you come in. Did you get to see the new song or no? If you type yes or no, because if you haven't, I'll stick it on now before you go.
That's a poor excuse to play it again, isn't it? Go for it, man. Go for it.
No, he didn't. Right. Yep. Here we go. John will like this.
This is the ballad. This from Miss Ballad.
Gets darker. The deeper you go down.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the turning of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And the finder of lost children.
You only need a light to guide you, and an angel to walk beside you.
A day you go down.
You wanna know the truth, don't you?
I find the evil and the greedy under every turn of rock, where I spit out the truth, the establishment mock. From all sides, I watch the opposition grow, trying to terminate the information flow. But the good book reminds me that I am blessed, protected and guided during every quest. In the valley of darkness, my way is clear. I carry a big stick and I show no fear. So prepare yourself for eternal damnation. In your nest of vipers I found my vocation. Are we so deaf that we cannot hear the screams of the children? Are we so blind that we cannot see? We are living in the depths of depravity. Are we so inept we let monsters roam, fueled on power and adrenochrome? Are we so weak we cannot fight back, beholden to our masters? The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the turning of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children.
Stack them up with walnuts. As long as you ain't got no ship 'em out the next day.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children.
Lost children. The rabbit hole. I dare you to go down.
Well, there you go. Sick minds violating innocence. Yeah, it's great. I tell you what always makes me smile when you've and that was Klaus Schwab when you talk about evil men. And he's got a Klaus Schwab come up. That's just that's perfect.
I was trying to think what to put in for Greedy and Evil Man, and I was trying to think of what picture epitomizes Evil Man, and Klaus Schwab.
yeah, bang on. I mean, there's so many things that could have been into this subject. We're just kind of like just touching the surface. You know, there's the whole sort of Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. There's so many things that this encompasses.
Well,
you could have gone into the song, could have gone into the video, but you got 5 minutes to just try and show something.
There is a quick shot of Epstein's Island temple.
Right.
The Blue Light Temple.
I didn't realise. Yeah, I've seen it on TV. I didn't realise what it was. You should have told me all this and cheered me up before.
Right. Let's see. The first one is the statue of Satan with his large penis, which was on display in Canada. The second one is the statue of Baphomet that was created and put on display in America. I think the next thing is a child in a cage. Then you have the Vatican snake room. If you look up Vatican snake room, you'll find those pictures. Then you have the video with actor woman whose name's fucking slipped me now. Biden.
Yeah, Demi Moore.
Yep. And then you have the ring of candles around the pillar that has the pig hearts on it. They were from the New Forest. I think that's pretty much all of it. Yeah, Epstein's Island in there. Klaus Schwab, the Georgia Guidestones. It's the one just before that. So yeah, we got quite a bit in.
Yeah. That's the thing, and people have to realise. I know there's no criticism. People have to realise when you're creating a song and a video, it's a snapshot. You're not writing a history book.
Yep.
You're not writing a whole article covering a complete topic. It's all you can just It's just point to this, point to that.
Right.
You got 5 minutes to do it, and it's got to be a song as well. It's got to be a track.
Oh,
It has to be
the,
listenable as
the
well.
other thing, you know that famous saying, "The left can't mean."
Yeah, without
Right,
doubt. Yeah,
right, yeah. Do you know what? Do you know why that is? Because they try to put a fucking lecture into your mean,
yeah.
which doesn't work. Uh,
No,
uh, Anybody who wants to make memes, you have got 4 to 6 lines. That's what you've got.
yeah,
You need an image, possibly 2 images if you want to do a split image, and you've got 2 lines at the top, 2 lines at the bottom. That's it, done. Anything more
yeah.
than that, it doesn't work as a meme.
It doesn't work, and we see some of those sort of leftist memes, and they're like 3 paragraphs
Yeah, and you're like,
of nonsense that
yeah,
that.
and
And it's so simple. If you get it right, it should be just flash up in front of you, and you get the joke.
the idea that I had in doing this video with all the pictures was that they would be here, sleep well, John. And thank you very much for dropping in. Yep. The idea I had with the pictures was that there were going to be flashes, like a flashback. That whenever you're watching, what the fuck was that? Did I see that? But and then move on, because if you get people thinking during a song, if they think you've got a 5 minute song, if they think
Yeah.
about something for 30 seconds,
Yeah,
that is a tenth of the song they've just missed because they were thinking about something else.
I totally agree. It's not, a 5 minute music video is not a documentary. It's not. All it is just kind of highlighting some ideas. That's all it can be. Really, a song can influence maybe some people's thinking, or subliminally. That's one of the great things about music, is that if you have a hook like like the hooking out, which just escaped me for the minute. But
Sick
sick minds, Sick minds
minds
violating
violate
innocence.
nonsense.
That it's a great hook, and I forgot it briefly there for 3 seconds. But it is late, it's late,
Yeah,
But that's how music works. That's what music does. Is that you can just pop it in someone's mind, and it stays there. And if you deviate too much, then you start to lose a message, don't you?
yeah. It's about the other thing it's meant to do is it's meant to point you on the track. You can do a song, and I would class this as an act of a song that's going to make you think about stuff, but it'll point you towards a rabbit hole. Go look that up. Go think about what this stuff is, and do your research.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I'm looking forward to doing the next one. I know JK's been working on, and like I said earlier on, we've already done a song about Orwell, but it's such a people keep the whole trope of 1984 was not supposed to be a manual; it was a warning, but we can't forget about that. You can't just let that go as that was just a trope. We need to realize that this is exactly what is going on, and it's becoming clearer and clearer all the time now. It's incredible. So I know that he's got some good. I know that you've got a lot to say about Orwell, and with our predictions, we don't know who he really was. There may be some differing ideas about that, but we know what he talked about, and what he put forward and put forward to the world a long time before it happened. And I think, wasn't his original name was Blair as well? His real name was Blair, something Blair. Is
I
that
honestly
right?
don't know.
Yeah, JK's got some good stuff about Orwell. So that'll be interesting when we do that track. And mate, it'll be an absolute pleasure to collaborate with you on that one.
The same. I really love working with you two guys. I'll tell you something else. See, from in the story arc, right? So I started off. I wrote a shitload of poetry. I wrote a blog quite regularly, and then I made memes with A Voice for Men, and I did all that stuff until it didn't. And then the next big thing was about a year and a half ago. I started doing this show on a Saturday night, and then I had you on, and that's what the conversation with you stemmed the harmony, melody, and rhyme song. And from then, I haven't wrote much poetry, but I've wrote some. I have started blogging again every week.
Yeah,
good
stuff.
It basically kickstarted me. From that, so it. And I have really enjoyed doing this, and I enjoyed doing the film. Emma G and I love an adventure.
It's different.
We love an adventure. We love straying off into places that people don't normally go, or whatever, or even just places that we don't normally go.
You certainly did, you weirdos. So, so when I come over, and hopefully next year, I want to have a little look around where that house was. And Dawn Browning, yes, I am sounding proper tired. I did have a very late night last night, but I might be able to put some blame on a bottle of Merlot and a couple of wee drams of single malt. But yes, well spotted.
When you come over, we'll have to go up there so you can see the spray paint, because that'll still be there. That'll still be on that wall.
Oh, we have marked it. Marked it.
Yeah. We'll get you up to see that, definitely. And hopefully, if you come whenever it's some reason a bit late, we can get up and have a nosy around the rest of the grounds, because the without giving it away, that's one building among a few that are derelict in that area. There's a couple. So there'd be stuff worth exploring up there. Emma and I are intending going back up in the summer, whenever it's late, because you don't want to go too far off the beaten track on your first time not knowing where anything is. We could have, in theory, we could have walked around for an hour and not found the building.
Yeah, well, that's right. I'll have a light to guide me and an angel beside me.
Yep. But we really enjoyed that, doing the other stuff. I'll take you to where the other bits were shot as well, because see, during the daylight, they look nothing like that. It's very weird that way. Just by taking away the ambient light, things look so much different.
Yeah. No, I mean that house as well is a brilliant find. It's such a creepy place. Eric Arthur Blair is George Orwell's birth name. That's right. That's correct. We don't know whether there's any connection with our favourite evil demon Tony Blair.
Yeah,
but there you go. I don't know.
I think he was a civil servant of some, or worked in government some way, shape, or form. Exactly what he did, I don't know. Maybe he got to see the plans.
Well, JK's got some interesting. He's looked into it a lot, and he's got some interesting ideas. So it's not just going to be about the usual 1984, the double speak and the Ministry of Truth and all that, the usual sort of tropes.
Yeah.
I think he's got a little bit more sort of deeper ideas about it. So it should be interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing that as well. And I'm absolutely delighted with the reception this one's got.
Yeah,
'Cause
I am. I'll tell you, to be honest, I was a little bit worried. I was a little bit worried. I thought we might have overdone it on the darkness of it all.
yeah,
Because I know it's just sort of mixing it. And that's where my sort of creative point comes from. I have to try and make it sound a certain way, whether whatever the music I'm doing, the way I'm mixing it, or the bass lines that I'm putting to it, or any other. I didn't play any guitars or anything. I only did do the bass on this and some of the drums and some of the other sounds. So, but I'm very aware that it won't hit the spot unless it feels it has to have a certain atmosphere about it. And whether it could be an upbeat poppy song or a standard rock song or whatever, it has to have something. It has to meet the criteria. It has to reach you on an emotional level, and you can do that with production. It's not just the words. It's not just the content. Everything has to go with it, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to sell it short. But at the same time, when I was, listening back, and I was thinking, this is dark. People might not like this song. I'll be honest with you. I just thought, this is grim. It sounds grim. It is fucking grim, and it has to be grim.
yeah. It's. I think it totally hit the mark. I do. And the other thing is, like, you've obviously heard this song very, very, very many times. I've heard it. Well, you've heard it a hell of a lot, and then it's different constituent bits and bit by bit and fucking track by track and what's overlaying and all. Whenever I'm doing the video, I hear sections lots of times because I've got to trim this to exactly here, and you need to play like a minute and a half, and you play that minute a lot of times. And
Yep, same as that. It's the same as that.
yep,
When you're doing editing and mixing and not so much mastering, but doing mixing and editing, you may go over the same 5 second, 16 bar part 25 times, and you'll work on that in complete isolation, and it's a strange thing to work on music, because everyone just hears the whole track. There's an whole track. When you work in production, that's not how you work on it. You do work on it in small sections, and sometimes you have to walk away from it, go and have a fag or whatever, and come back, get 10 minutes, then come back to it and just play the whole track and let it wash over you, because you can get too involved. You've got a microscope on certain parts, which you can lose sight of the bigger picture. So it's that balance as well, and I can imagine it's exactly the same as that when you're doing the video as well.
yeah. And the other thing is you get desensitized to it because there's a bunch of images I put in there that are quite shocking, and they're no longer shocking to me because I've seen them X amount of times. And then you put it all together, and because you're desensitized, it's hard to tell if you've hit the line, went over it, or are under. You know, it's strange that way. And then what you get it all together, you get a great bunch of people like this. You put it out there, and then you see the response, and it's like, "Fuck, we did good."
Yeah, yeah. I have to say it's been really good reaction from everyone in the chat there, and hopefully we can get it, you know, moving further afield, and because it needs to, you know, it really
Yeah,
needs to. I know JK, that's one of his. He has a lot of strengths, creativity wise, but promotion and that kind of thing is not one of them. So he needs all the help he can get with that. And I'm not particularly neither. I'm more the sort of the technical guy, producer, doing all the promotional stuff. That's not really my thing neither. It never has been. In any band that I've ever been in, I'll sort of, my place has been the bass player, the technical issues. I'll do sometimes the mixing and sort out the tech stuff. But I'll sort of, you know, that's the promo stuff. That's got to be somebody else's. It's got to be somebody else's thing. It's not my strong suit, you know.
well, I'll do my best to push this out. I
Yeah,
have from Harmony Melody and Rhyme come out. I did make a concerted effort to get back and do stuff with my Facebook page, and I've breathed life back into it. So it's now getting traffic, and so I can put stuff out through that. My blog's now getting traffic, so I can put stuff out through that, and we can push it a bit.
Yeah, I'm really glad this has inspired you to fire you up a little bit and getting back to the poetry and the blogs. Chris Dangerfield's mentioned one of your blogs a couple of times,
Yeah,
and it's that's well, there you go. If he's noticed it, that's something. And your poetry, you do have a talent. You do have a talent for just finding the right words and delivering them the right way. I wish I had that. That's not my thing. It's not, but you have that, and I've total admiration for songwriters. People can write poetry, which at the end of the day, a poem is, or I should say, a song is a poem without music,
yeah,
isn't it? Mm.
yeah. It's another version of a poem. It's what we produced here. That's poetry set to music. I think it was Toffee said at the start. It was it reminded him of your man Cooper Clark stuff that he did later on whenever he was putting music over it.
Oh yeah, that lefty fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I prefer your accent to his anyway.
yeah. Well,
He's got a extra English fucking accent like me.
Cooper Cooper Clark stuff sounds good until you realize what he's at. There's a reason why he spits his poetry out at 300 mile an hour.
Yeah, so you don't notice half the bullshit he's saying.
Yes, if he's got 20 lines, he's got 3 good ones in there. The first one, the middle one, and the last one.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like Cockney rap, really, wasn't it? If you go back to those late 70s, he was like the punk poet or something, wasn't he?
Yeah,
John
but
Cooper Clark,
he's as deep as Chaz and Dave.
Hey, nobody ever go at Chaz and Dave now.
No,
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Chaz and Dave are great.
He had more rabbit than Sainsbury's, didn't he?
Yeah, I listened to Rabbit there on, but I wouldn't exactly call it deep. I wouldn't call it meaningful. But Chaz and Dave weren't supposed to be. But Cooper Clark was billed as this intellectual that was clever and intelligent and had meaningful insights and whatnot. But real Pac, I'm not dissing Chaz and Dave. They're great for what they are. Yeah, people are giving me all these Chaz and Dave songs. I like Chaz and Dave, but nobody would say that nobody would get them on their show to talk about world affairs, whereas it did with Cooper Clark because he was supposedly this intelligent poet. But the fact of the matter is, he had as much fucking mindful inside as Chaz and Dave did.
Yeah. Who was it that was on with Rags and Jack talking about Chaz and Dave? That because they actually used to be, well, no, they were great musicians anyway. And they were sort of like session players. Who? Oh, was it Bootneck? I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about the how if you listen to Chaz and Dave properly, that they were actually top musicians, and they were, but that obviously that they were a novelty act of their time. Oh God, I wish I could remember who it was. I don't think Rags is still here, is he? But someone that was on their stream on a Sunday was talking about him a lot. I can't remember who it was.
Hold on. That's what happened. I'm sorry.
Right. Sorry to interrupt. It's a duck. Yeah, it was Paul Mumford. You're right. It was Paul Mumford. And and he was bang on with that. And if anybody could recognise good musos, obviously Mumford would.
Yeah, Mumford's class. Mumford, I absolutely love that Deep Water album.
Yeah, I listened to it because I contacted Chris and I said, where can I get that album? Was it? Because I can't find it on Spotify or anything. And he says, no, it's not. He did a bit of a naughty. And so the tracks are only on YouTube, and various tracks are only on YouTube. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Great songwriter. Obviously a great guitarist. But that doesn't mean to say that you'll be a great songwriter, and he's a very, very good songwriter as well. Yeah, well remembered there. Yeah, of course it was Mumford, yeah.
Yep, that Deep Water album, 1742, timestamp. There's a song, I don't know what he calls it. I call it Civil Warrior. And if you want in a song to understand the life of someone who's in the paramilitaries in Northern Ireland, listen to that song. He has fucking encapsulated it perfectly.
Right. What was that timestamp again?
1742.
1742. Oh, 42. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's no, I'll look out for that because I can't remember. No, that's a good recommendation.
Yep.
Just top stuff, man. Just top stuff.
The first line of it, there'll be no coming back when they find out you ran with us. They're going to run you out of town. It's just it, and I actually sent links. I sent the link that with a timestamp to a couple of other people, and they were like, "How did he know?" Without said them, he's not from Belfast. No. He's English. No. He has no idea about any of that stuff, and they were like, "How the fuck did he write that?"
Let's face it. Most English people know fuck all about the reality of Belfast and Northern Ireland.
Well, he wasn't necessarily writing it about here, but you don't really have paramilitaries over there, and he got the essence of paramilitaries absolutely nailed on.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I'll look that out. Are you going to send this video to Chris, like you did with the other one?
Yes, I will.
I think this one's going to fuck him up, isn't it? It's going to fuck him up, and he's not going to know what to make of it.
I have a couple of adjustments to do to the description. Name change. The name's going to be The Ballad of Mr. Ballard, open brackets, Find Your Lost Children, close brackets, official video.
Okay.
Right, me and Justin
Yeah, I
were
know.
talking about this yesterday, right? So I need to do that. Then I want to check through the description, make sure I'm happy with everything. Then I'll publish it. I will tweet it to Dawn Browning
That's it.
because
Right.
she was asking earlier, is it available standalone? Because she wanted to tweet it out. So I will tweet that to you, Dawn.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Well
and
done,
we'll see
Dawn.
it. Yeah, and yeah, it'll make its way into Scrub's lifeboat, and yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So, Streaky Bacon, it's on asking 42. What do you think of the song Belfast Child by Simple Minds? I was a big fan of Simple Minds personally, but I don't really know what they were getting at with that track. What's your view on it?
Someday I'll return when the Belfast Child sings again. I thought I've got the same amount of thought about that, about Simple Minds, Belfast Child, about Zombies. There's a couple of other songs. See if you want to hear songs about Northern Ireland and all that. Look up Stiff Little Fingers. Stiff Little Fingers.
I thought you might mention them.
Yeah, you want fuck. The names of songs have left me now. Alternative Ulster. 78 revolutions per minute. Inflammable Material.
Right.
And there's another one. But they're all in one EP. But yeah. I think Simple Minds wrote a song about something they know fuck all about.
That's my impression.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of early Simple Minds stuff. All right, on a slightly different topic. Well, not really. What do you think? Right, okay, we all know who Bono is. Right, he's a virtue signaling twat.
Yeah.
What do you think about the song Sunday Bloody Sunday? What was the truth of what happened that day with the British Army opening fire on a crowd?
No, that's not what happened. You'll find there's a Sinn Féin politician called Martin McGuinness.
Have heard of.
Yeah. He fired the first shots that day.
So why doesn't that surprise me?
Right. In the inquest into Bloody Sunday, we had this really big inquest in the Bloody Sunday, which found the British Army to be at fault. However, Martin McGuinness, in common with every other Irish Republican that went into that thing, the inquiry, to give their evidence, said their evidence started with, as a Republican, I will not be divulging any of the actions of the Irish Republican Army on that day. So we had an inquest where they told half of the story. And lo and behold, the half that told their story.
No, I can't believe it.
Yeah. There was a picture of one of the people who was I seen a picture on a Facebook group. Was the Derry painters, people do the nationalist graffiti on the wall, and here's a picture of blah blah. I can't remember what his name was. Throwing petrol bombs at the Brits who were trying to take over X area, on the roof of a block of flats. Sadly, 3 days later, blah blah was murdered by the British paratroopers trying to access those flats on the day of Bloody Sunday. You know, it's the
Right.
it it turns out that the people at the shop were rioters. Did they need shot dead? I don't know, but I will say that the reason why the British Army were brought into Northern Ireland was because of the escalations of rioting, particularly in Londonderry, where the police were overwhelmed. I don't know, if you take people who are armed with rifles and you throw hundreds of bricks and petrol bombs at them, and the only thing they have got to throw back at you are bullets out of the rifle.
They were spooks, weren't they? You know.
Yeah, you know, they were spooked, and with the amount of people that there were, they were in danger of being surrounded. It's the only thing you can be 100% sure about is we never got to the truth, and if we got to the truth, you would probably not be finding anybody guilty.
No, well, and it happens so many years later as well, doesn't it? With so many of those guys. It's funny because I'm not torn because I do know a lot of history and I know that there's a lot of bullshit. But when I was younger, I was a big fan of U2. Not before old Bonio started getting too political. But Sunday Bloody Sunday is one of their very early songs, and I saw U2 supporting Rory Gallagher at Aylesbury Friars when I must have been 17, maybe something like that. And it would have been about 1982, and I remember thinking that the guitarist, as we now know as The Edge, and the singer Bonio, I do remember thinking, oh, these two guys, there's something about them. And everyone that I was with at the gig, we were there to see Rory Gallagher. And everyone, most people didn't like him, but I did. Then I saw him on the TV on some power pop thing that they played a couple of or one track from the Boy EP. This is right early on, very early on U2 stuff. And I become aware of the song Sunday Bloody Sunday. And I knew it's controversial even then. And I did like the song, I have to admit. I have to like the song. And I saw them years later. We went to Twickenham to see U2 during the Vertigo tour. So I think that album, How to Dismantle an Atom Bomb, had a big hit with Vertigo. And this is the honest truth. They'd had Vertigo out as a single. Now I was in a covers band, Evil Puppies, and that was basically the same lineup as the Clan of Kells. So we had a Protestant Belfast guy singer. We had Catholic Irish guitarist from Newbridge, Welsh drummer, me, who claims to be from Glasgow, and so. Can you still hear me all right? So
Yeah. I'm just putting this up. Work away.
Sorry, that's you. Right. And so we went to see U2 at Twickenham. There's about 80,000 people there. And they opened the show with the song Vertigo. And we've been playing it for about 3 months in the venues, And, our singer, Billy Mack from Belfast is a fucking awesome singer. Much, much better than Bono. So they opened with Vertigo, and it was like, oh, this sounds a bit like us, but louder, with a singer that's not as good. So then they played another song. I can't remember what it was. It might have been an older song for it. Yeah. Then Larry Mullen Jr. drummer, he plays that iconic drum beat to start Sunday Bloody Sunday. And it was at that point that I was like, right, okay, I'm at this gig now. And it washed over me. And I'm still thinking in the back of my mind that I know that I'm getting a load of fucking waffle from this guy. But I have to say, just like Zombie by the Cranberries, that song, Sunday Bloody Sunday, is fucking powerful. And that is the power of music. That even though that I knew that it was one very, very one-sided view of something that happened a long time ago that I didn't really understand what was the truth of it. It grabbed me. It grabbed me when they played that track at that gig. I suddenly sort of got into that mindset. I'm seeing one of the biggest bands in the world in a massive stadium, and it pulled me in. But when they played Vertigo, I was like, yeah, it's just like my band, but a bit louder. You know what I mean? It's just
Okay.
yeah.
I have just pulled the lyrics up the Bloody Sunday, right? Because I'll tell you what's pulling me in.
I've got a funny story to tell you about this song in a minute, but you carry on.
The music's really good. It's a good anthem. At a big loud gig with all the crowd singing, with all that recognition, with blah blah, blah, it's fucking epic song. But I've just pulled up the lyrics. First one, I can't believe the news today. Oh, I can't close my eyes and make it go away. Then go to how long must we sing this song? How long?
Well,
Because
it's been about 25 years now.
Right, okay,
at least.
right, okay. First two, broken bottles on their children's feet, bodies strewn across the dead end street. But I won't heed the battle call. It puts me back up against the wall. If I'm being critical, this puts it back up is repeated twice because he couldn't think of a proper fucking line to get the right amount of syllables in. But right, so far we've had nothing that means anything.
Well spotted.
That could be about anything, anywhere. Right, Sunday Bloody Sunday, Sunday Bloody Sunday, Sunday Bloody Sunday. Right, firstly, the battle's just begun. There's many lost, but tell me who has won. The trench is dug within our hearts, and mothers, children's, brothers, sisters torn apart. Bloody Sunday. How long must we sing this song? We've now got a bridge. At this point, it's becoming too long. There's too many lyrics for a song, if I'm being critical. But wipe the tears from your eyes. Wipe the tears away. Wipe the tears away. Wipe the tears away. And it's true, we are immune. What is when in fact is fiction and TV reality? And today, the millions cry Sunday Bloody Sunday. We eat and drink while tomorrow they die. Sunday Bloody Sunday. The real battle's just begun. Claim the victim. Jesus won. Sunday Bloody Sunday. It's a fucking nothing burger. It means fuck all.
Right? I had an idea you might say that.
It means nothing. There's nothing connects that to Northern Ireland. Nothing connects it to Londonderry. Nothing connects it to Bloody Sunday offence apart from the name. It's a fucking nothing burger. But it is wrapped up in a very good song. Very good music.
It's a great song. They have managed to with the power of instrumentation, that fucking drum beat, that iconic drum beat at the start, then that guitar part, it's so iconic that it can put. This is the fucking power of music. It can be dangerous. It can be used for good. It can be used for, it is. Oh man, that track, it got me. It pulled me in. even though I didn't really know the truth of a lot of it, but I knew that it was propaganda. But it still had the power to pull me in. But the funny story I've got. Oh, sorry, go on, mate.
The biggest piece of the biggest, largest piece of musical propaganda that has ever been seen in the world. Right? Do you know what it is? Band-Aid.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right.
And at the time, we were so
Right.
proud about what was being done. You know,
Right. Do you know what didn't? Do you know what didn't happen in Ethiopia? There was no drought.
no drought. I know. Yeah. I've
Yep.
since found this out, but we all believed it.
Yep.
There'll be no Christmas in
Yep.
Ethiopia.
Yep. 4
No
years.
snow.
4 years earlier, communist takeover pushed a load of people off their land, put other people on the land. The people moved about, uh, and then UNICEF and whatnot started making camps for the people that were displaced. And what do you know? Whenever they made the camps, more people came. What the fuck? It's
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and what happened to the money from that's we could do a whole fucking stream on that. But just a little funny story about getting back to Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you remember, or anyone in the chat remember, a TV show called William and Mary? Martin Clunes was William, and was it Zoe Wanamaker? I can't remember. But does anyone remember William and Mary? Do you remember that 42?
No.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So I didn't watch it either. Right. But I was in a band I was one of the founder members of a band that decided that we'd exploit all the Irish theme bars that were popping up everywhere in London and the South East. Well,
Good
national.
idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant idea.
And we did, mate, and we did. And it was one of the best moves we made. We were gigging 4 nights a week from that little scam. So Scotty, again, a Belfast lad, and I mentioned him to you before, where it was me and him on the whiskies with the SES guys and all that, and they're accusing him of being a fiend, and he wasn't at all. Right, so that covers band that we did to do all the Irish theme bars was called Emerald Dogs. Now, the Emerald Dogs were the band that were in on that TV show. Linda Hunter, yeah, I love you too, baby. I left the band by then. So the Emerald Dogs were the band that Martin Clunes was in the TV show William and Mary. He was a musician in the program, right? And the Emerald Dogs were in that TV show. So if anyone's seen it, if they saw that band, that was the Emerald Dogs. Now, I'd left that band over sort of financial differences with Scotty, but not long after I left, they decided that they needed to update the set. And one of the hardest things to do when you're a very, very busy covers band, it's really hard to get fresh material in the set because you're too busy gigging. No way you're going to any rehearsal rooms. It's just, that's not happening. So you can either, everyone learns a new, 5 new songs, and you do them at the gig without a rehearsal. That's it. So it tends not to happen too often. The set gets changed around too much, so it gets stale. But after me and Stormy Norman, another Belfast guy, left that band, they decided that the remaining members decided they wanted to update the set, and one of the songs that they wanted to put in, right, hang on, it was that Don William Mary first episode, you can like 2003, yep, Absolutely. I left that band in 2001. Right, so that sounds about right there. One of the songs was Sunday Bloody Sunday, and Scotty, being a Protestant Belfast fan, he didn't care. It was for the money, It's
Yeah.
just it's. But
See, to be fair, if I was a singer and somebody said sing that song, I'd have no problems with it whatsoever, because it's not about Northern Ireland.
right, exactly as you pointed out, you demonstrated that.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing, right? He hadn't learnt the lyrics, and because singers don't like learning new songs because they don't like learning new lyrics. And he had a book or some folder. Apparently, I was to say, I was told this after the event, and they're playing in a big Irish venue in London called the Cladder Ring that I played at 1,000 times. So they were playing there, and they were doing this song for one of the first times. And you had this folder with the lyrics of because you just give us all the lyrics to that song a minute ago, which reminded me of this. And and something happened with the folder, and he couldn't see it. He couldn't find the lyrics, and he just kept singing the first line over again, and he just kept going, "Have you heard the news today? Have you heard the news today?" and at the same time, and he's got this lyric folder, and he's trying to find the fucking page. Have you heard the news today? And apparently that's it, and the song's going on, the band's playing it,
Yep.
and it's all he could sing is, "Have you heard the news today?" And apparently it was a fucking farcical disaster. But I wish
at
I'd
least
been there. But
at least they proved they were playing live.
yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
You don't get that shit with lip sync.
No, you don't get that shit with lip sync. Yeah, but what a fucking nana. But there you go. That's singers for you.
Oh fuck, that's excellent. Right. All right, we're coming up in 3 hours. It's coming up to 1:30.
Yeah, it's probably time to call it a night.
Anything that you think you need to say that you haven't said?
Probably not, but I'm very much looking forward to doing the next project with you, and getting this second JK Justice Kane album finished. And you're going to be on 3 of the bloody tracks. How'd you manage that? How'd you do that? What's going on?
Oh,
you're brilliant, man. Your input, right? It's just as JK, himself absolutely loves. He's not usually the kind of guy that would want to share the limelight with anyone. He's an egotistical singer. All right, I first knew him as a drummer.
They all are.
But he loves it. He loves your input to this project.
Like, you don't get to be the front man without having an ego.
Exactly, and so you should.
Yeah.
I've always said I don't want to go on stage with anybody that doesn't have an ego, because I've always. I've been lucky. I've played with a lot of top musicians, and if I don't want to be going on stage in front of thousands of people with someone that doesn't have an ego, is not completely confident about what they do.
Yeah.
It's part of it. And if you're an audience member, you don't want to see someone who doesn't have an ego. You don't really. You don't. You're right. You don't want to see someone being a cocky bastard. But you want someone to come over. This person is the fucking at the top of their game. And it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
Oh, really interesting one. After we're done harmony, melody, and rhyme, Amachi said he's doing anymore. I says, no, that's me. It's done. It's that I'm not a songwriter. This project worked. It was a fucking fluke. It was a one-off. Blah, blah, blah. And then I got the message from you, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing a bit of work with Al and Justice Kane about the other one. Says, thought you said they weren't doing anymore. What? Just don't. So, she said, she says, next you're going to be telling me you're going on the tour. I'm like, yeah, no, that's never ever happened. And she
Right,
was
right. Can
like,
I just stop you there? Can I just stop
yeah,
you there because you haven't had the memo yet about the UK tour of festivals in the summer. I'm sorry to bring it on you now. Who's hang on? It's who was it? Budgie Burger, Ego and the Bunnymen.
he won the Bunny Man.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, this will be the last one. Said, yeah, we might be doing another one. She's like, I told you.
So, what does MG think about your newfound potential success as a rock star?
Emma G is amazingly supportive and everything.
Yeah, I
She
know.
loves it, and like we had such a blast going and doing the video and stuff. And the first night I went out and got some footage, more to check feasibility, see was it going to work, see was the phone good, was whether or not it was going to work. And I says, "You're right. I'm going up the forest to get some footage just to check it out." And she says, "Thought I was going with you." I was like, "No, this isn't going to be actual real footage. It's just a feasibility check." And then, but we have really enjoyed it. And the bit where the bit where she's going, "There's a mouse, there's a mouse." And I was like,
mate, you're very lucky. She's an absolute top bird.
yeah.
And I'm very lucky as well. My girlfriend is one of my sort of biggest fans as well, and that means so much. It allows me to get away with a lot of musician bullshit that a sane person wouldn't put up with. But she's absolutely top bird. Can't wait to meet you both in person.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet you too, the both of you. We'll do some exploring. It'll all be good. I suppose I may play this again.
Yeah, you might as well play it out. Would you reckon?
Yes, we're going to do that.
It's the ballad.
Hold on. I didn't want that to start. Hold on.
Ballad.
Right. Stop that. Get back. Back. Right. I'm going to play this. I'm going to put your comments up on the screen, and then we'll be out of here. So, last showing of the night, and I will get this. It'll be available on YouTube in the morning. Okay.
This is the ballad. This from Miss Ballad. Ballad.
Gets darker. The deeper you go down.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the turning of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And the finder of lost children.
You will need a light to guide you, and an angel to walk beside you.
A day you'll go down.
You want to know the truth, don't you?
I find the evil and the greedy under every turn of rock, where I spit out the truth, the establishment mock. From all sides, I watch the opposition grow, trying to terminate the information flow. But the good book reminds me that I am blessed, protected and guided during every quest. In the valley of darkness, my way is clear. I carry a big stick and I show no fear. So prepare yourself for eternal damnation. In your nest of vipers I found my vocation. Are we so deaf that we cannot hear the screams of the children? Are we so blind that we cannot see? We are living in the depths of depravity. Are we so inept we let monsters roam, fueled on power and adrenochrome? Are we so weak we cannot fight back, beholden to our masters? The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children. The righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. But blessed is he who in the name of charity or goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. The finder of lost children.
The rabbit hole. I dare you to go down.
Okay, everybody. Al's been Al. Justice was justice. I have been 42, and you lot in the audience have, as always, been fucking amazing. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless, and see you all next week. I'm out of here. Gone. Bye bye.